I have a NVIDIA graphics card, and I've been using FSR for the entirety of not just Black Ops 6, but also MW3 and MW2. Is it a bad idea to use FSR with a NVIDIA GPU? Would I probably get more mileage out of, like, DLSS? I also saw there's, like, Intel Xe SS or whatever. I have an Intel CPU, so, but, again, I'm pretty sure that's all just, like, graphics-based. Personally, I don't really like all the upscalers. I kind of just like running the games natively. I feel like that's just, like, a bigger thing with the gaming industry right now, where I just feel like there's too much of an over-reliance on these upscalers. But at the same time, I don't got the best rig in the world, so, you know, if I want to keep my game running at the decent FPS, I do kind of have to use those upscalers. And by decent FPS, you know, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh man, I need like 250 plus FPS in order for the game to feel right. No, dude, like, as long as it's like 60 FPS, just kind of like ranging around there. For Call of Duty on PC specifically, then, you know, that's fine. I don't even need it to be 60 FPS, dog. As long as the game's running at 30, then I don't care. Even then, I don't need that, though. Me and my boys used to play GoldenEye split screen on the N64. Man, that was like 5 FPS. I don't know, I'm not like a lot of the other modern gamers, but that is also just because, you know, like, I'm an old head. The first game I played was Donkey Kong Country on the SNES, and then, you know, I grew up with, like, the PS1 and the PS2, and it's just... I don't really care about frame rates and all that jumbo mumbo. You know, if I'm playing on PC, I do get a little OCD about it. It's like, all right, you know what? I'm on PC. I have control of this. I'm gonna go for like 60 FPS, but even then, if I can't do that with my rig, then I'll go for 30. I just always think it's funny how there's always like outrage on Twitter and YouTube is like, oh man, this new game is only running at 30 FPS. It's like, brother, you can tell these kids are like, they're like real young, you know what I mean? They weren't there back in the day trying to play like the early 3D games of like PlayStation 1 and N64, let alone if you try to split screen those games like I was talking about with like Perfect Dark or GoldenEye. For me, as long as I'm playing a video game, I'm happy. I don't care if I'm playing on like some tiny tube TV CRT, playing a PS1 game or an NES game or whatever, man. As long as I got a controller at hand, I'm happy. I'm the dog. Give me an Atari joystick. You know what I mean? I actually still unironically play Atari games a lot. I really want to get that what's it? The Atari 2600 Plus. They also have the 7800 Plus. It's basically just like a modern version of the Atari, but it still can play like original Atari games, which is freaking awesome. And it has like a, you know, like HDMI plugs and stuff in it. Like, it's made by Atari. Realistically, just because I'm a collector, I'd probably get both the 2600 Plus and the 7800 Plus, but the 7800 Plus is really cool because it's backwards compatible with, obviously, it can run like 7800 Plus games, but then it also plays like 5200 and 2600.